According to Muslim tradition, the greatest and the most profound achievement is to make it to paradise or heaven. And Prophet Muhammad had many different companions. And in this episode of FTD Facts, I'm going to be looking at just 10 companions that the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have said that yes, you are going to heaven. Welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and yes, we have another video exploring the world of Islam. Now, if you love learning, be sure to leave a like on this episode. And if this is your first time here to FTD Facts, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified of our daily episodes. All right, guys, so let's jump right into it, starting off with the first companion. Here we have Bakr Siddiq. Abu Bakr Abdullah ibn Uthman was the son of Uthman Abu Qahafa. He was born in Mecca in the year 573 CE, and his real name was Abdullah, meaning servant of Allah. Now, Abu Bakr was a nickname that was given to him due to his love for camels, and it actually means fathers of a camel's calf. But his latter name caught on a lot more, and that's what he became mostly referred to by. He belonged to a rich merchant family, and he was very well educated, and he had a sharp memory and a big fondness for poetry, which was one of the standard traits for Arabian men. He's also known as Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, or the testifier to the truth, because of his constant honesty. And he was known to be very wise, and he was 2.5 years younger than the Prophet Muhammad, and the first among men to enter into Islam. After the death of the Prophet Muhammad, he became the first of 4 caliphs of the Rashidun Caliphate, as it was called by Sunni Muslims. Now, he was always a very close companion to the Prophet Muhammad, and he knew him better than any other man. Next up at number 9, we have Omar M Alkitab. Omar was the son of Khattab ibn Nufail, and he was born in Mecca in 584 CE. Now, although he was educated, he was very fond of and skilled in fighting and horseback riding. Now, he had earned quite a reputation as a wrestler as well. He reigned from Quraysh, and Omar was a persecutor turned believer. He initially hated the Prophet Muhammad, but then became a devout follower, and at times he even defended the Muslims against physical harassment from the Meccans. He lived as one of the most powerful and most influential Muslim caliphs known in history, and succeeded Abu Bakr as the second caliph. Now, this is a man whose name is paired with justice and truth, strength and courage, self-discipline and godliness. And he was devout, observing and fearing of Allah. And he's also one of the son-in-laws of the Prophet Muhammad. His conversion to Islam marked the beginning of a new phase of the call. Uthman ibn Affan comes in at number 8. Uthman ibn Affan was born in Taif near Mecca, approximately 6 years after the year of the elephant, to a wealthy family of Quraysh. Throughout his life, he was kind, generous, and even before his conversion to Islam, he would freely give money to help people in need. His marriage to 2 daughters of the Prophet had earned Uthman the nickname Zu al-Nurayn, and that means the one with the 2 lights. And he was also honored with the title Ghani, which means the generous, for his charitable acts. In Omar ibn Alkhattab's last breath, he appointed a committee of 6 members to choose his successor. And they narrowed the options down to 2 people, Uthman ibn Affan and Ali ibn Abi Talib. Now, eventually, Uthman was chosen as the successor, and Uthman's life was taken in his house in the year 656 CE by rebel soldiers from the garrison city Fustat in Egypt. Now, he was reading the Quran when his assailants struck him, and his wife Naila tried to save him but could not do so. She actually attempted to deflect the killer's sword with her bare hands and got her fingers cut. Now, this act shows her strength, courage, and love towards her husband. Naila was one of the many strong Muslim women in those days that always showed acts to oppose the idea that women were oppressed in Islam. Number 7 brings us Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali was born in the 13th Rajab, the month of the elephant. Now, the love between Ali and the Prophet Muhammad was completely divine because they had a lot in common. Not looks or attitude or anything, but they were both born in the month of the elephant, and they both shared a common grandfather. And his name was Abdul Muttalib. Ali had remained under the shadows of his seniors, only advising them in matters of the state, and he became the next caliph after Uthman ibn Affan. Unfortunately, Ali was assassinated by an extremist group who were vying for vengeance while he was offering prayer in congregation in the year 661 CE. Number 6 brings us was Talha ibn Ubaidullah. Talha was also a member of the tribe of Abu Bakr, and he was a successful businessman as he traveled to the north and south of the Arabian Peninsula, and he accumulated a lot of profits. Not profit like Prophet Muhammad, but like profit like money profit. Now, the Prophet Muhammad, kind of confusing there, said this about Talha. The Messenger of Allah once wore 2 coats of armor, and he tried to get up on a boulder, but he was unable to. So Talha squatted under him, lifting the Prophet such that he could sit on the boulder. Allah was so pleased with Talha's help, and the Prophet informed Talha that paradise was now obligatory on him. He came to be known as Talha the Generous and Talha the Good for his generosity. Talha was well known for helping those in debt, as well as households experiencing difficult times, and he was also known for helping out widows. Next up at number 5, we have Az-Zubair ibn al-Awam. His father was al-Awam ibn Khuwaylid, and he was of the Saad clan of the Quraysh tribe. And that made al-Zubair the nephew of Khadija. His mother was the Prophet Muhammad's aunt, Safiya bint Abd Muttalib. Hence, al-Zubair was Prophet Muhammad's first cousin. And while he was still a boy, al-Zubair fought an adult man and beat him up so badly that the man's hand broke. And Safiya, who was pregnant at that time, had to carry the man home. And when passers-by asked what happened, she told them, he fought al-Zubair. Did you find al-Zubair soft like cheese or dates or full of brass? And that's when they knew that he would grow up to be a strong man during war times. He was also one of the first of 5 men to accept Islam under the influence of Abu Bakr. And he's also said to have been the 4th of 5th adult male converts. He's also well known for his books of Sirah, titled The Disciple of the Prophet, and the Prophet Muhammad himself gave him this title. He also was a very prominent companion of the Prophet Muhammad, and he loved him very much. Alright, so moving on, we got 4 companions left. At number 4, we have Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. His parents were both from the Zura clan of the Quraysh tribe in Mecca. And his father was Auf ibn Abd Auf. And his mother's name was Al-Shifa bint Auf. His original name was Abdu Amru, which means the servant of Amru. And it was the Prophet Muhammad who renamed him Abd al-Rahman, which means servant of the most merciful. And it was also said that his original name was Abdul Kaaba. His name also has been transliterated as Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. And Abu Bakr had spoken to him about Islam, then invited him to meet Prophet Muhammad, who heard his declaration of faith and taught him the Islamic prayers. He then accepted Islam only 2 days after Abu Bakr al-Siddiq did, and this was before the Muslims had entered the house of Al-Arqam. He became one of the first men to accept Islam. He was also one of the 10 persons that was assured to enter paradise, hence he's on this list. Also on top of that, he was one of the 6 people that Umar chose to form his council of Shura to choose the caliph after his death. Abd al-Rahman died in the Levant at the age of 75 years old. Companion number 3 is Saad ibn Abi Waqqas. Saad was born in Mecca and he was 17 years old when he embraced Islam. Saad was the 17th person to embrace Islam. Saad relays his conversation that he had between himself and his mom when he converted to Islam, and it goes like this. When my mother heard the news of my Islam, she flew into a rage. She came up to me and said, "Oh Saad, what is this religion that you have embraced which has taken you away from the religion of your mother and father? By God, either you forsake your new religion or I would not eat or drink until I die. Your heart would be broken with grief for me, and remorse would consume you on the account of the deed you have done, and the people would censor you forevermore. Don't do such a thing, my mother," I said, "for I would not give up my religion for anything." However, she went on with her threat, and for days she neither ate nor drank. She became emaciated and weak. Hour after hour, I went to ask her whether I should bring her some food or something to drink, but she persistently refused, insisting that she would neither eat nor drink until she died, or I abandon my religion. I said to her, Ya Ummeh, in spite of my strong love for you, my love for Allah and His Messenger is indeed stronger. By Allah, if you had 1,000 souls and each one departs one after another, I would not abandon this religion for anything. When she saw that I was determined, she relented unwillingly and ate and drank. And he is mainly known for his commandership in the conquest of Persia back in the year 636, as well as governorship over it and the diplomatic visit to China in 616 and 651. Number 2, we have Saad ibn Zayd. Saad ibn Zayd was born in Makkah before Hijrah, and he inherited his father's religious beliefs of Islam, and he accepted this at a very early age. Now, Saad with his wife accepted Islam when only a handful of people were Muslim, and they went through all sorts of abuse, ridicule, and torture because of their decision. Now, his wife Fatima was also an early convert, and at first they kept their faith completely secret because Fatima's brother Omar was a prominent persecutor of Muslims. And Khabib ibn al-Arat often visited their house and read the Quran to Fatima. And one day Omar entered their house while Khabib was reading, and he commanded to know what the balderdash was. When they denied that anything had been read, Omar seized Said and knocked him to the floor. Fatima stood up to defend her husband, and Omar hit her so hard that she started to bleed. Now, the couple admitted that they were Muslims. At the sight of the blood, Omar was very sorry with what he had done and asked to see what they were reading. And it was Talha, later to become the 20th surah of the Quran. And impressed by the beauty of the words, Omar decided to become Muslim as well. And finally, at number 1, we have Abu Ubaidah al-Jarrah. Was born in the year 583 CE, and he was a merchant by profession. Abu Ubaidah belonged to the Quraysh clan, and before embracing Islam, he was considered to be one of the nobles of the Quraysh, and he was completely famous among the Quraysh of Mecca for his modesty and bravery. Now, he embraced Islam a day after Abu Bakr in the year 611 at the age of 28 years old. And he was described as the Amin, or custodian of the Prophet Muhammad's community, with dignity and grace. He was handsome and he was pleasant, as well as he was a well-spoken man and very tall. He had a great physique and bright, sharp eyes. Now, the Prophet Muhammad said this about him: every ummah or nation has a trustee, and the trustee of my ummah or nations is Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah. By character and nature, he was very humble and modest, and amongst his friends, he was gentle and soft like silk. When it came to wartime, he was very hard like iron. And during the battle of Uhud, he lost 2 of his front teeth. And it was within this battle that 2 of the iron links of the Prophet's helmet pierced his head. And Ubaidah pulled them out with his teeth. And following that, as soon as Abu Ubaidah moved to Jabiya, he became afflicted with the plague. And as his passing away approached in the year 639 CE, he spoke to his army and he said, "Let me give you some advice, which will cause you to be on the path of goodness always. Establish prayer. Fast the month of Ramadan. Give sadaqah. Perform the Hajj and Umrah, remain united and support one another, be sincere to the commanders, and do not conceal anything from them. Don't let the world destroy you, for even if man were to live 1,000 years, he would still end up with the state that you see me in. Peace be upon you and the mercy of God." All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this look at 10 companions of the Prophet Muhammad that were promised to be in paradise. Be sure to leave your thoughts and comments down below. I want to hear what you thought about this episode, and also if you have any future FTD Facts episode suggestions, leave them down below as well. So that's it for me, but before you guys get out of here, I'm going to be leaving you with a related episode that you can check out. It's going to be at the end screen, so don't miss it. It's coming up right now. All right, guys, it's been awesome hanging out with you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Later.